Reaver, away!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Chris Cast. Sorry, Wiethoofd was just, whispering sweet nothings in my ear there, just totally distracted me heading into the intro. God, I'm all flustered now. What's going on? Well, you're on Chris Cast. That's all you need to care about. As we are covering the quarterfinals of the ETF2L 6v6 Nations Cups. There's going to be 2 Nations Cups this year. There's going to be 6v6 right now. There's going to be Highlander later. But we've got 8 teams battling it out to become the champions of the 6v6, and we have some titans on show tonight. Russia versus France, 2 absolute behemoths. Whoever wins this best of 3 will be going through to the semi-finals and just be 2 matches away from potentially winning. I'm CeeJaey, joined by Wiethoofd on production, and Aya is going to be joining me on the casting bench. And this should be a huge game, right?
Yeah, it should be really, really big. Like, obviously, this is the quarterfinals. Everyone's fought their way through those groups and through the round of 16 to be here. But France and Russia are some absolute titans. And so on the roster of France, it is going to be Kubi and Neo on Scout, Opti on Roamer, Korvac on Pocket, Demoul on Demo Man, and Patchouli joining them on the Medic.
Yeah, Russia, on the other hand, they're going to have Utka on Scout, joined by Slash. We're going to have Turek as Roma, DQZ on the Pocket, Soldier. Demoman is going to be Sano, and finally Mad Mac on the Medic. We saw that Russia beat Finland, which is no mean feat. They were, multiple times runners-up, winners kind of team. They had some people like Credu. You never discount a team with Credu on it, for example. And they managed to come through that 2-0. And France, dropping points in the groups, they didn't even have to play Hungary, which would have been an interesting game, I feel. I mean, do you have a favorite coming to this as we are going live now?
I mean, look at the names on France. It's hard to say, like, oh yeah, these people are, but like Russian, I definitely think Russia will make this very interesting. But we'll have to see what happens on this first bit. This game on this map is the pick of France. However newly updated it may be, but we're seeing some high bombs there, no clipping effects there. Mad Max instantly be the ones to go down. It's a French massacre in the blink of an eye. It's only Korvac alive. They did get Mad Max though, so
yeah, that was huge.
They kind of did an any % run of mid there.
I mean, you at TF2 update, you got to see different ways to play. I mean, that was great. The bombs from the soldiers, Opti and Korvac, absolutely huge. Korvac was the one who got Mad Mac early on, but Turek got 4 kills during that mid-fight. Absolutely crunched France. And you know what? Like, getting the enemy medic is good, but if it takes your entire team to do it, it's maybe not the best strat. And Russia winning that mid-fight, equal Ubers, definitely showing their hand early on here.
Yeah, for sure. But we're gonna see everything, resume normal pace as we see a mid to second stalemate. Absolutely classic. And if you've seen the TF2 got an update, I'm not joking. And some of it actually does involve seconds. So the little roof by pipe above saw, you can stand on that now. I don't think it's legal, but you can do it, and you can test out the rule live on stream if anyone is eager.
Frantically trying to get my phone, like calling the admins, like ring, the ETF2L.
Get super on the phone.
Can we
live on the air interview? But
yes, hopefully that doesn't come into play. Whether we have any of that happen during the game. No, after the game, the players like, is this allowed? We don't know. Doesn't look like Russia here trying to pressure onto grass. But no, DQZ just getting absolutely destroyed. But ooh, that was just the distraction. The turret came in through the window, got one nice rocket onto Patchouli, but that's not good enough. But France, both soldiers down for Russia. France are just going to try and take this dry, I think.
Yeah, it does look like they will. Scout making it through Catwalk as we speak. Korvac, they lose Korvac early on, so that's going to hurt their ability to actually win this exchange, but they will take it anyway, and they're doing a lot more flashing this for Russia. This is basically a solo Uber onto Utka, as it does fade. Now we're going to see him trying to win this fight with the Demo Man. No one's actually died yet until Sano trades with Kubi. It's very slow in the air on this, but France does not have any position. Opti's out, and they're just gonna have to kind of hightail it. Soldier trying to get onto Patchouli, does manage to live, but at what cost is Francis back to second?
that was just reminiscent of the way the Div1 Russian side was playing all of last season. Just these heavy amount of Ubers onto Utka, just playing that pocket scout role really well. The other players knowing that they go in and do the damage or they stay out of the Uber. And, you just saw that Utka is hitting his shots, and that makes the enemy team have to flash a bunch of times. So they had a much better Uber, and it just works out better for them. And France, not able to take any ground, really. They were just stuck on their side, and they're back to square one. Just sitting here. Demon's actually looking at the trap on the window, but again, it looks like Russia want to try and make some space onto grass.
Yeah, it does look like they want to posture towards it. They just got into lower now, though, so we'll have to see what they want to do with it. This could just be an opportunity to send a sack, or they could just say, hey, 6v6, let's take an exchange, because just why not? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good strat. You go in, if you manage to take some space. Turk actually going in really low. That's such a good bomb. It basically just skimming the grass there, barely coming off of the floor, but just not hitting that second rocket clean enough.
Yeah, that's the race car. He was up there revving and lower, and then just, he threw himself at that wall, whether it fell over or not. Was we had to see, and it actually did go quite low. I didn't see exactly how much.
I think it was down to about 70, but I think that second rocket would have been enough to, put the creepers on him and maybe just get the force. But this is, maybe we should have expected this. Like a little bit of a tentative start to the game, just both teams feeling each other out. I feel like Russia from what I know about these players, they play a little bit more fast than loose, and Turek is now on the sniper, getting Kubi as that first pick. So in comes the bomb from DQZ, maybe taking some space. Can't really get much. He's going to get counterbombed by Opti and absolutely crunched there, as D-Wall is going to get so much damage down, and now France, they want to accelerate into second gear.
Yeah, it looks like we've got Korvac going straight through Kitchen, trying to catch out any players. We'll just get pressure, might even lose his life before it drops very, very low. And yeah, there's a sticky trap out. Trades with Utka, but they're losing Opti as well. This is a very messy entrance from France, but they are still winning it. Russia has to back out. They don't have their sniper and they don't have their demo man or scout, so yeah, that'll do it. But it was really messy from France. That could have gone very poorly.
It could have, especially considering Turek was on the sniper. Do you know what the great thing about sniper is? You can kill people in one shot. They didn't really kind of clear things out, and it was the fact that Turek actually was going behind. I mean, I've never really seen the back cap attempt from a sniper work out very often. But he did get cleaned up. So France just kind of, they're going to be happy. They've essentially traded places here with Russia. They are now in control of mid, and they're going to be ones trying to maybe make a play onto Mad Mac here, who's on the point. But no sniper anymore. Basically back to the regular classes. And you know what? I would not want to be a medic playing against Omti and Callback's bombs right now.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if you remember the grand finals at all, but that was just Opti putting everyone on blast, even if he didn't win it in the end. And, okay, we got Doman just kind of going a little too far forward there. Utka managing to clean up Demul.
I mean, is that demo overextending, or is it the rest of your team baiting? That's always the big question. DQZ going in for the bomb, though. He's going to get launched into the skybox and taken out. Callback traded off, though. And it looks like Sano versus QB. But no, it's going to be a kill onto QB, and that means France 2 down now. They have to back off, and again, we're trading mids. A couple of players go down. Nobody really... I mean, have we had an Uber for a while? Have we had an Uber yet?
It has been quite a while, hasn't it?
Yeah. Have we seen... it just seems that the teams don't really want to commit too hard. As soon as they've lost a couple of players, they just back up and just say, hey, we'll let them take the point and regroup. But now it does look like Russia want to start going forward here. Big bomb in from Turek. He gets a lot of space, a lot of damage, but he does die for it. Top Opti is going to get traded there by DQZ. Russia are just kind of in no man's land right now.
Oh, yeah. I definitely think Russia could have been more aggressive, but they're still cleaning it up. DQZ, nice 2 kills. And, the Uber's going to come out of France. This is so bad for them. Yeah, they're just going to have to use this Uber to escape. We've got full Uber advantage for Russia going into the last. The health on France, I think, was worse than they realized, and they didn't really capitalize on it, but hey, DQZ manages to kind of pull them out of that spiral, and they're just going to Uber straight on into last. Heavy by the left spawn door is getting trapped out, point pressure on. Can France even stop it? The soldiers will for now, but they're getting absolutely mulched. And that's the first point to Russia on France's pick.
Yeah, France's pick, France's server, France's...
it is a French server as well.
Yeah, I mean, This is, I don't say a turn up for the books. This is one round after 8 minutes, but it did seem that as soon as Russia decided to, press that W key a little bit, just going on to second, they were like, hey, let's just go in.
Yeah.
It worked out really well. DQZ definitely really making the difference. They're getting 2 crucial kills on the entry. We'll have to see if mid is going to be as much of a slaughter as it was last time. Corby's flying through the air as his turret. Madman goes down first again.
Yeah, DQC as well, but this time it is coming up. All France, Maddox and Turek all down. It's a salvage operation now. And, the one man that they do need is still alive. Opti and Demul gave their life for him. But Patchouli, he's there safe and sound. Actually, I say that Utka is being a little gremlin. Got Neo, but again, not the man.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a worry because, that... It's like a little buzzing fly, like a mosquito, right? That scout just jumping around, and you never know. All it takes is, a couple of meat shots and your medic is out of the game. But Patchouli living does mean 100% Uber advantage here. France only just getting onto second, and Turek jumping up onto towards Sword. Looks like they maybe want to send in a sack or at least defend a bit.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're at Uber Dissad there, you can give up one to try and get the force or get the kill onto Patchouli. But, he just died to a sticky trap.
Yeah, that's going to sting a lot. France have got second, but dropping the Uber to a sticky trap, that's never something you really want to see. And Patchouli on the respawn, just as Mad Mac gets to that 100%, just ticked over, and looks like Russia want to push out from underneath. They've got Salo and Uka for company, just trying to get some space. Maybe a bit of a questionable push to go out. Did they go straight for Patchouli?
I mean, yeah, that's just... They took the subway straight onto second there, but I've never really seen that push out. That's interesting, and it's coming up for them. They've managed to get Kubi and Opti. Obviously not finding Patchouli means they are at Dissad now, but that only matters when someone actually has Uber, and no one does right now. But France are pressuring back in. They've gone down 3 on each side, but importantly, Sano going down for Russia, so they will have to kind of cancel this push. Never actually managed to get the cap onto second. And we're just going to basically end up back where we were. But now, not actually too much of an advantage for France.
Yeah, it's that 20%, right? That means, when you get to 85, you really want to be in lobby getting ready for the push and be pushing on 100. Otherwise, look at where the medic is. Madback's so close.
And they are gonna do just that. Russia not building as well as they were at the start, but they're at 90%. Should be able to get it if they're kiting well. And, they're just going to trade points for now. Soldier down on each side, but there's Kubi as France. Oh, so much point pressure, though, and they don't manage to get on it. Demul getting the cap out for his team, and that's going to make it even. 1-1.
I'm going to need a speedometer there because Demul just flew across my screen with that Uber. And, credit to Patchouli getting that flash just at the right time to keep him alive. And it's actually Demul who wins the round because he stands in that little hole on the point and it stops anyone from physically blocking the point, and he gets the cap because of it. So tying things up here, this has been pretty equal so far, but the mids have been very, very one-sided. We'll see what happens this time. Fast bombs from all the soldiers.
Double bomb.
Patchouli's so weak.
And that's Neo and Korvac going down, so with Opti, but they did manage to, again, get Madnak as those soldiers were off doing things, so Patchouli lives, but it is still a mid-win for Russia, however hollow. And Utka is all the way on second already, so they'll be able to get that cap out.
Yeah, it was like a baby chase, just to see if, anyone was holding forward. Patchouli was all the way out, but he's got a decent amount of caps on there. So it's going to force Russia to think about things, right?
It's definitely something, but I don't know how much they'll be able to go on second, as Patchouli is actually arriving on their Uber right now. Madnak only just getting started. So we'll have to see how they want to approach this. Probably leave one forward, try and get the force or the drop, and just play to get out on mid. But the Uber is actually just come straight through from France, which is a little odd.
France looking like they're questioning their thoughts right now. Maybe don't want to get ahead of themselves. Russia playing passive. They have a sniper. Turek is on the balcony. Korvac is scoping things out in cheese. It still looks like France want to come in here, Aya.
Yeah, it is, and look at that deep pump from Demul straight onto the sniper. These Ubers are even now, but with all this space, France is just going to be able to swipe second for free and force Russia back into a last hold. Still actually one down. We could see France do something like this, maybe it's just sending someone in. And yeah, there's at least one bomb. Looks like it's just going to be a sec. Oh, they lose 2 for it. Nice rocket onto Madnak, but not quite enough.
Double sack onto Snakewater last is quite common.
Yeah.
You know, sending both soldiers in. Sticky trap there is going to take down Utka.
Yeah, you're losing Utka going. Oh, Sano could go. It does go down. Nice winger follow up from Kubi just to get them around the corner, and that changes everything. Because what started as just like we lose a scout, we're just gonna back up to last. Now we're down in demo man, and these friends are just gonna muscle their way straight in through Shutter, take this exchange. Solo on both ends so far. Because of that, 2 French players have been dropped in the Super.
That's criminal, that is. I was just going to say, Patchouli playing so well. Just got bombed there early by a soldier. Didn't use, despite going down to quite low HP. Knew that there was no demo, no sticky trap to worry about. Played really well there, but somehow still they lose 2 players. And Russia just, knowing it's 6v6, they just push out. No Ubers in play. They're happy to try and get some cap time. Big mid-air double air shot from DQZ and Opti. I think hitting each other in mid-air, but they both survive. And France are just re-pushing this now. They got 1 kill, 2 kills. They got Mad back as well. They take their DQZ. It's going to be a wipe. 45 HP onto Sano.
Where did it all go wrong, CeeJaey? They tried to push out of Snakewater last, and as Dama said, worst mistake of my life. So that's going to be a second roundup for France now.
Look, the thing is, pushing out a snake, you can do it, but you need to then position yourself in the right position.
Yeah, it actually looked like Demul could have been caught a little bit peeking that door, because he got shoved away by the soldiers, but nothing gonna come of it. And yeah, we are just sitting even now. Sentry gun in the little forward spot that does watch lower, which is very nice.
Yeah, it's a good sentry spot. I mean, it's harder to get it in that position because, when you're building it, but once it's built there, it's good. And yeah.
So, looks like a double sack from... Okay, so double sack from France. They lose their demo as well to the bomb, but they also get a counter pick with the sniper. So 3 down for France. Got the sniper aggressively peeking into second, trying to get Patchouli just playing behind those boxes. And then the bomb's gonna come in and try and capitalize on him being pinned there. But just gonna get eaten alive by Neo. Then there's the demo man down, Demul, giving Russia a really good chance to push into second. But can they actually assemble the troops?
Kurasano
goes down as well.
Weak. There are so many weak players there on Russia. It's like they need a really big play out of someone right now.
Cap pressure on last. This exchange is coming out. This is just going from, last stalemate to chaos, and they're actually just gonna get the pain train cap out.
Half of the server was invincible there. There was so many flashes going on, and Opti's like, I'm just gonna pain train, walk on the point. And casually gets the cap while all the chaos is going on. 3-1 now, less than 10 minutes to go. And France starting to tighten their hold on this first map. Russia maybe need to switch things up a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. It definitely feels like this. France has been dictating the pace of this game. But I don't know, we'll have to see how they want to adjust things. Russia going way slower this mid, actually just kind of chilling on catwalk. As this is the most passive mid we've seen yet, definitely, but Sano is going to be the first casualty, and that's not a good start for Russia. We'll trade with Dimul, but again, losing Turek, they're just one step behind in all these exchanges. As we're going to see the first French bomb really start to come through. Post-humanus rocket onto Madnak from Opti. Absolutely massive. And we'll have to see if they can keep Patchouli alive. It looks like they'll be able to. Utka being cleaned up, being the last real threat.
I think, when you compare the mid-fight so far, Russia has been more successful, but France have been more successful in getting Madmak, and Patchouli is living a lot more during the mid-fights. And either, Russia need to look at it and be like, how do we protect our medic better? How do we deny these Opti bombs? Or they need to switch it up and just go, okay, W in and get their medic,
Wait, sorry, what did you? I don't know if you saw what happened in Southern. Did Opti and Turek just walk past each other?
I think they were like, ships in the night, just like,
okay.
Just like, you carry on. It's cool, bro.
I'm just saying, if Turek manages to get anything with that,
be like, how did he get behind? I don't know. I didn't see anything.
I don't know. No clipped in it.
It's only a level 2 sentry though, and that's going to get taken out pretty quickly, as does Sano, so no stickies on point. Neo is gratefully just going to relinquish the beam.
The sentry's still alive, goddamn.
Russia,
unfortunately.
There's a lot of players of France here.
Yeah, they have to stand on the point, though, and that's the biggest problem. Oh, they managed to get the Uber. That's very big. We'll have to see what France want to do in this position. If they want to try and recommit, or if they're just going to back out. You know, they can take this 30% ad now with Patchouli back onto second. Have to see. Will Russia actually manage to push out at all? They only just got 2 spawns, so probably not.
Yeah, but those spawns were like really well timed. Like Sano getting up, getting those stickies down, just totally denying that one side of the map. But getting the Uber there from Mad Mac was so important. And France kind of fluffing it there. Neo got so much cap time.
Yeah.
It just took too long in cleaning up the frags. And France, you know, it's not like they're behind or anything. They can just chill now.
I'll see that.
Vodka on the sniper has been hitting shots today.
Yeah, but then there's that Uber ad from France coming into play, and they just Scour just ran to points, stood in the corner. That's how you win. You don't get frags, you cap points. And you know, with the gun only being by spawn, hadn't been moved forward yet. It wasn't really watching anything.
Yeah, 3 of the Russian players were pushed up on the far side. And
yeah.
France were on the other side. They just walked straight to the point, and the remaining 3 Russian players went into spawn. So it was a case of, well, if no one's going to defend
who's
this
on
point,
first?
Yeah, we'll just gladly take it. 4-1 now, and it's looking tough for Russia to get back into this map, but it's not over. Still possible. I want to see if Mad Mac will live this mid fight, and if they're going to get Judy. The double bomb comes in. Mad Mac dodging and weaving, and he does live a little bit longer. And this is looking good for Russia so far.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time where like the France bombs have not found their target. And to granted, neither did the Russians, and there's Sano going down as the first real advantage for one team in this mid. And while Russia may lose it, that is, I think, the first mid fight Mad Mac has walked away alive.
I think you might be right. Does mean that Russia lose it, but look, they're going to do the solo Uber.
And they're just going to take the exchange. Yeah, and they're trying to force the flashes there from Patchouli. They are successful in doing so. I don't know how much it'll matter though. Russia not wanting to end the Uber on a lot of low ground. And Turek and Slash managing to get more frags. They're just trading back and forth. But Patchouli did go down among all of that, and so that will be a successful hold here from Russia. Not managing to get the bomb to Mad Mac. Went up to 20 HP, but I mean, hey, no Uber to force, so only 0 is what's acceptable there.
That's so well played by Russia. I mean, they know that Oka can hit the shots. Just take the solo Uber onto him. You know, like you said, forcing the flashes from France, making sure that they have that better Uber, at least an equal Uber, and then the respawns just come in, and the soldiers are just happy to sack their lives in and go in and try to get the damage for the rest of the team to clean up. And QB was behind, trying to maybe go for a cheeky play, but he gets cleaned up, and France are like, okay, well, seeing as QB's just died and didn't get anything done out of it, we're going to have to back up, because Mad Mac, now at 85%, has about a 50% advantage over France, and the soldiers for Russia already just launching themselves in, taking that space, and France just kind of just chilling in lobby.
Yeah, Turek maybe set himself into a bit more of a wall than he wanted to there, but Russia's just going to take the super straight into the lobby, and they've got Demol and Neo there. Actually, the forward bomb from Sano taking so much space on last. These bombs from Russia are fearless. He's going to even just start getting point pressure. Not going to work out in the end. That sentry actually kind of catching them out. When you don't have an Uber, you kind of forget how much ground it covers. Slash trading with Opti, but the funny NG frag will prevail. And that's a failed last push for Russia. Full Uber now on Patchouli. Let's see how they want to push out a last.
I don't know, man. When I see a Frontier Justice kill and it's not crits, it just feels a bit limp to me. You know, it's...
It really does.
Turek is, though, hiding in cheese. He's going to go for the bomb. Just doesn't land the rockets. You know, the jump was good, the positioning was good, but just doesn't land them onto Patchouli, and it's not going to be enough to make him force. See, this guy has got balls of steel, does not want to use that Uber unless absolutely has to. And now Russia have to make a decision here. Are they in or are they out?
TQZ is behind them in lobby as well, or at least trying to be on catwalk. And there's the bomb going to come out, try to get Patchouli again, but just playing so well around those stairs to avoid the rockets. He basically had to hit an upward direct. But actually the Uber's going to come out first from Russia. Mad Mac got it in lower. And, France will have to use. They wanted to just get out there and skate without using. And they very well could have, but would have dropped their demo man. And that just wasn't worth it to them. They're going to be even Ubers now holding second. Very well played from Russia to actually deny the midpoint.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're playing so well right now. Demon actually might get caught out here. As he tries to escape.
He will.
This could be a dry push from Russia if they push, you know, in the open side on the left. We'll have to see if they decide to do that, because, you know, time's not on their side, and they are already in. They're taking the high ground. They're starting to get some good damage down. Near on the heavy. Desperation times now.
Yeah, they will, but Russia's not getting a ton of space with this. Like, keep in mind, they do have a slight overad they could use if they want to, but Opti, Korpak going down. This is actually starting to crumble for France. We'll have to see if Russia can actually get the point pressure down, though. Blowing stickies off right now. The heavy took so long to go down. They really need to focus that a little more, I think. And the Uber will come out from Russia and catches out Patchouli. So this is actually should be a round for them, and it will be. Okay, Opti not doing anything too crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to unpack from everything that's going on there. Like, in a war of attrition, you know, where it's just a slow-paced fight, you'd expect the side with the heavy to win, but Russia's focus fire was just so much better. They just took down 2 players, just played it slow, and then as soon as they got the Uber, popped it. Patchouli was just a few percent behind, and that led to a round. Just under 2 minutes to go, maybe just a little bit too little too late from Russia to get something out of this map, but the momentum is definitely with them right now.
Yeah, and keep in mind, this is France's pick, so it does make a little more sense if they win it. We're going into Russia's pick next, which is Gullywash. But hey, this map's not over yet. Patchouli will go down. Manak is still alive. We're in unprecedented mid-territory so far.
You jinxed it. Yeah.
Forget I spoke.
DQZ, though, just launched in and got Patchouli. Like, he's the only French player that died during the mid-fight, but he was in and managed to land 2 really nice rockets. Got the kill, and that's kind of what was missing out of Russia during the mid-fights, getting down the medic. I mean, it's okay to lose your medic during a mid-fight, as long as you get the enemy medic, you know, you can make things equal, but they just never really seem to get that. They won mid-fights, but they would rarely get Patchouli during a mid-fight, so something to work on for the next match.
Hey, look at this funny spy, Turk. He is just chilling on bats right now. I don't know if he'll actually get anything. It is only 1 minute left, but it would be very funny.
I want to see an Assassin's Creed stab, you know, just a drop stab.
The
he's
drop stab.
unpoking now.
Oh, just gonna get Korpak instead. We'll live though. Oh, and there's actually a crit on the field, so that we can actually see that come out in the last few seconds. See if they can Sano can redeem themselves with. Oh no, it's actually a French crit. My bad, I'm illiterate.
Tarek is still alive. I'm sorry, I've just been watching this fight.
I don't know. There aren't words. I mean, he did not manage to cap blast.
No. I mean, they still could. Only 2 players live, 10 seconds. Sano has got to...
Surely not. Sano, you got this. Oh, it's all over.
That's just rubbing salt in the wounds. Now the GGs come out. Is going to be 5-2.
That is a several seconds early STV change SMH.
France winning their pick.
Like, they were not playing poorly, it's just France managed to get the rounds in the end.
Yeah.
I would say it was definitely much closer than a 2-5 scoreline would indicate initially. But we do have some logs we can cast our eyes upon. And, well, actually it shows Utka, by a large margin, out-damaging everyone else on the server.
We'll have to see what happens on the second map.
Yeah.
Gullywash?
Is indeed Gullywash. This is the pick of Russia, so, you know, you imagine they're going to be a little more favored going into this. If they do win it, the decider will be Granary. You know, especially Gullywash and Granary, you're going to see how Sano and Dummel really stack up, and I don't know as much about Sano, so I could just be, like, underrating him, but it definitely didn't look like they were necessarily going toe-to-toe on Snake.
Yeah, I mean, Sano's been around for a long time, he's very experienced at, you know, decent, I mean, he plays with these guys, and I believe he's played Prem in the past, someone might be able to correct me, but
yeah,
I think on, like, all Russian teams, he's been about there.
Yeah, like, I've definitely seen him around on, like, the Russian teams, whenever you see them in, like, Div 1 or, like, qualifiers, but, like, I don't know as much about them, but that's just my theory crafting. We'll have to see what's going on as we head into this first mid, see if there's any crazy shenanigans. No one doing a Bashi, unfortunate.
No,
you always want to see it.
You always want to see someone try it, you know?
Yeah, someone try. There's a fast bomb, though, from Turek, gets wall shot, and right around the same time, Sano dies. It's stereo. So, actually, France just want to roll this directly through choke. There's still Russian players on... No, never mind. They switched colors, didn't they? I hate that.
It's actually the same colors. So.
It is so good? Oh, I'm just dumb then. Pardon me.
It's all good. It's all good. It's you know, it's that time of the year. Everyone's a little bit hot and bothered. You know, it can make the eye see funny things, I suppose. But again, I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but Mad Mac dying on mid, Patchouli living, France all over second. Only just getting to cap, sort of about 50% done here on mid, but
They got a little
have
ahead of themselves. Well, it's only getting ahead of yourself, I suppose, if you're losing. And Turek, he's the one on the bottom.
I think what won that mid fight was Opti. He just kind of waddled in from big door, just did one jump and landed 2 rockets onto Sano. And you know, if your demo dies that early on mid, it's really bad, and everything else just kind of fell into place for France.
Yeah.
Pyro in the Sentry though.
Pyro Sentry, classic Gullywash, Iron Man hold. You could actually do as well here is drop your demo man into water and have them be there as well, but that's more of a preference thing. As you see this Sentry, it's not going down anytime soon. That was the entire Uber. DQZ, the first actual casualty, but followed up immediately by Optifant, Kubi, Demol, and Korpak. Only Slash losing their life in response, but truly so weak, but did manage to skate on out with his scout buddy.
Yeah, just absolutely zoomed all the way back in there, took on mid. Really well played there by Russia. I mean, that Sentry took too long to go down, and that was the focus of the majority of the Uber, and Sano with the 3 kills. Just being able to hold on to that last point, and Russia trying to take mid without using their Uber.
They should be able to, yeah. France did not really have any position. They were just sort of peeking choke, seeing if they could get anything. But as they didn't, they're going to just back up to second. Still around 30% advantage here for Russia. Please check the guy in upper. Okay, Opti just directs you. That's unfortunate. It happens to the rest of us.
Oh, and Neo, he's on a 4K already. I mean, I don't know how this man's getting so many kills. It's just already in the game.
He's just eating beam. And that's kind of what happens. We're going to see this exchange come... Never mind, we're not going to see an exchange come out, but Julie drops. Amazing pipe from Seno. They're just sort of holding W on in there. Someone getting married. And, Kubi and Neo, they're the ones getting the follow-up in the post-Uber. Russia will have to scramble on out.
That's probably the first mistake we've seen Patchouli make so far in this game. I feel, that should have been an exchange, and that pipe from Sano just doing really well so far this map. And Russia.
Oh wait, what? Alright, go on.
Are you okay? Is everything okay?
No, I'm not okay.
Russia in the blue, just so that I knows what page we're on. 85% right now, heading towards River. Looks like they want to get ready for an Uber push here because Patchouli only at 65. They have a Pyro and a Sentry. A little bit more passive though. A little bit more passive.
A little more passive indeed, but I mean, hey, what's more infamous than France and Pyros? Unfortunately, the man himself not in the server. But this Uber for Russia is going to end on the point, but not for long. There's so much French presence all over that. Trading 2-4-1 and going in here, but then there's Demul. The French Uber, gonna come out. Just wipe the floor. Madnak did manage to live, though. He's all the way out for Big Dart. Okay. I was wondering where he was.
He's doing his Usain Bolt impression and just sprinting as far away as he can. I mean, that was a really interesting mid fight. The passive Sentry there, kind of like... It took longer to go down because you're passive, you got a Pyro on it, but also it didn't watch the point, and it was very uncharacteristic from Utka. He took the beam onto the point with that Uber and missing shots, and if that player on the point from France had died earlier, that would have been very, very helpful for Russia. Nice shots here.
Oh my god, massive bombs as well. Opti and Demul gonna go down. They do trade Turk for it. But that's going to stop France from pushing on into mid, and it looks like Russia actually want to poke second, going through Big Door, seeing if they can get anything. It looks almost like a wrap going on. This Russia's just going to run through choke. These 2 points do cap at the same rate, so whoever started first is just going to get it, and that is France on mid. Opti went back to try and stop it just in case, but he didn't even land on the ground.
Yeah, this is awkward. When something like that happens, Russia just pedaling back here. France are going to get the second point.
Turek out of forwards, going to bomb onto Patchouli. Nice rockets, get a slightly earlier force, but it's going to be an exchange anyway. But they drop Sano, and that's big in this exchange. You never want to drop your demo man. And I think we're finally going to have people on the right sides of the map.
Everyone's in the places they are supposed to be. And they dropped Sano. They also dropped Utka. That was kind of maybe the worst thing because they went to lead with him. But actually, they got player on the point already.
Yeah, don't get capped. That's the name of the game in this thing. And so yeah, Slash going down on the heavy trades with Opti, but 3 French players were incredibly low there, so not a lot they could do. Kobe gets cleaned up in secret, so things gonna kind of resume sanity.
Yeah, I think Russia are going to try and push out here. They're taking a little bit of time though, and France building that Uber, playing on the high ground, just kind of saying you're going to have to push us out here if you want to do anything about it, but DQZ is going to do that, and it looks like Russia are going to stabilize after that.
They're just gonna take super straight through trucks as well, maybe thinking they have a slight ad. I think they had about like a 4% ad. You'll love to see it. And you're gonna see this exchange, but DQZ, the only casualty so far. Most of Russia just backing out, maybe trying to just, they were trying to Uber check France, basically. But now, this positioning is France, if they manage to get through Big Door, had Madnak on low ground by choke, so not managing to get through the flank from Russia, managing to hold off long enough.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
we're gonna...
Russia feeling it. They don't want to slow this gameplay down, they want to keep going. Demol just caught in a position he doesn't want to be, might well die here. He does get cleaned up by DQZ, and that's the thing. Russia's just saying, okay, we're going to keep you under pressure. We're not going to give you time to think, not time to settle down, and they're getting ready to push second here.
Yeah, definitely. They just are taking every small advantage and trying to push on it, and sometimes that looks kind of weird, but like when you see it work out, this is it, and it's a roll.
And again, there's got a back cap attempt coming in from France.
They don't see Kubi up top stopping the cap. That's so unfortunate. Because again, like, you don't have any actual like speed advantage when you're capping second versus mid on Gullywash. And again, we're seeing France just run it back. And we'll have to see. I think Russia will be able to get on the point. They will. Though this exchange is now going to come out around Russia's second. Yeah, the Utka and Slash losing their life in this Uber. Again, it's another thing where like Russia's trying to solo to have a better Uber, but they're just losing players.
Yeah, they're going in. They're going in because they have to, essentially. But they're but
the sticky traps, the rat plays from France, not going to net them last once again by the looks of it, as they also drop Demul on entry. But again, this last hold from Russia yet to be cracked. Opti trying to go for another play.
Yeah, France just going in and not really, like, they have these advantages and they're just not sealing them out, whereas Russia just playing so much closer to the wire, just saying, okay, whatever, we're just going to go in. They have an advantage now. This is the first time we've seen an advantage this big for Russia. So we'll have to see how France are going to respond to this, whether they're going to, fall for the bait and stay in like they did before. They lost QB.
I mean, that feels like...
They want to get out,
It feels like Kubi expected the combo to go big door, which to be fair, I would have expected as well. So they were just going for a sack to try and get Madnak there, but obviously Madnak actually went choke, even though we have 3 players in big door. And it looks like now they're going to just take this Uber into second to kind of capitalize on this advantage. They'll get Neo and Opti. Can they get Patchouli? They've got a scout chasing them so hard. But actually, it's gonna be Utka just content to go back to last. Medic on medic violence there. Gonna manage
so
to
much
get
damage
the
on
kill.
him. There was so much damage on him.
Turret gets straight onto last. We'll have to see if they can actually get it. Did trade with Neo, so there's so much cap time. Russia needs to not feed all onto the point here. Like, take your time. Little bit. I don't think they'll manage to get it.
Mad Max on fire right now. He got hit with a flare on the retreat. This is just chaos. This is pure unadulterated chaos happening here. Russia realized that if they slow things down, then France are just going to go in with their bombs like they've been doing, get the forces, play it slowly and methodically. And Russia just like, okay, we're going to go in, we're going to keep you on your toes, we're going to give you time to think. And Patchouli has just been on the receiving end of a battering so far, not had time to just settle down. And again, Russia with this huge advantage, and now they're getting ready to push into last.
It feels like, unlike Snakewater, this game is going at Russia's pace instead of France's. But we're going to see again this passive sentry with the pyro. We have a scout instantly in water trying to fight this soldier at the same time. But while that's happening, Demul went down alongside the sentry. The heavy taking its place, just denying all this space to Russia. But they have a player in water. And if they can get onto that point, they win the 1v1 with Neo, but oh yeah, there's the heavy to drop down. No points being capped today.
Yeah, Patchouli using that Uber,
Oh,
taking
the
one
Uber,
rocket.
though.
Yeah. There was a lot
That's,
of interesting plays going there. Russia
That's
should
a
have
bit
won
of
it.
fear.
Yeah, the one rocket. I mean, Patchouli, like I said, been milking Uber's been playing, really, really well so far in this game. But this game just not had time to relax, and I think that using the Uber, just not risking anything bad happening.
But that has gifted Russia basically a second chance at the same push that they just whiffed. Never mind, Utka's just gonna get piped out of existence in River. 40% ad, they could wait a little bit for their spawn. They'll probably just go in and have him meet up with them. And yeah, there's the demo man going in through River. See if they can get better spam onto the sentry this time. Will go down before the Uber is over. Slash taking this 1v1 with Demul on point and not gonna win it, which is very crucial because they can't really get cap pressure with that. And yeah, Russia's already out. No rats to be worried about for France. They're just gonna take this full Uber ad and see what they can do on second.
That kill by Demul onto Uka was so huge because Uka's been the one taking Ubers and knowing what to do. Not saying that Slash didn't know what to do, but not killing Demul there. He was 5 HP. And him surviving with sticking the point. Yeah, that was over. Push over.
It denies all the cap pressure, but yeah, like it was just down to Demul hit a really nice pipe. On the point. Like there's only so much you can do against that. But we'll have to see now. France do not have actually a massive advantage here, so they're looking big door, but if they don't find anything, they're probably just gonna content to sit in a stalemate here.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're gonna want to, things to settle down. I mean, it's so like a parallel opposite to the first round of Snakewater. That went on for a while, like 7-8 minutes, and that was very slow. As soon as the team lost a player, they were like, "Okay, we back up, we give the point."
I mean,
okay, this has just been back and forth, end to end.
Yeah, it feels like whenever we settle into this like methodical, like proper quote-unquote TF2, is really when you do see the advantage for France come out. Like it's not Russia playing at their own pace. Quarterback. Just gonna pick Turk out of the sky.
Who needs scouts and nice soldiers when you can have your soldiers just do that? Opti's gonna die in exchange. Even Turk has to drop a cheeky NS in chat there.
Yeah, and it was a very nice shot, but what we're really seeing is that France has lost both their soldiers. And we'll have to see if Russia wants to do anything with this, even if it's just sending in someone to go and die.
It looks like they're trying to push the flank here. Slash and Turek, so much space forward, and France are kind of having to back up to point.
They have gotten the space, but they're not really able to do a ton with it. Like, they can't really get into lobby, and they can't really do anything about the players by choke. So they're just sort of there. And yeah, now I'm going to be pressured back out. And yeah, we're sitting in, it's even Ubers, it's Gullywash. We'll just have to see who wants to actually do something first.
Yeah, normally in these situations, it's like the unwritten rule that the team that has control of mid is the one to send in a sack because it's harder to push mid than vice versa. But France here probably not going to want to wait for something to happen. They're going to try and probe. Turret's jumping in.
And yeah, I mean, it was a good attempt. I'm just going to rock on to Demul, but Patchouli sitting pretty.
Yeah, Patchouli just surfing back onto the rock there. This is probably like not what either team really wants to be in right now. Like it's going to be very hard for Opti and Korbak to get the sack in to mid from this position. So Turek respawning on Sniper.
Turek on Sniper. I think most of the time we saw it on Snakewater was Utka, and that was fearsome. So let's see if Turek has anything to say about it. And Korbak going down really early on, which will make it a lot harder to spam the Sniper. Not that they necessarily know about it yet.
He's going big door though, and
see if this first shot manages to correct. Yeah, and it looks like Kubi just jiggling manages to spot it early. Now well aware of that Sniper. Yeah, like Patchouli instantly goes to underbats, like they're not getting sniped anytime soon. But other people could be. And if you're forcing the medic to play in that position, you know exactly where to land your bomb.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost just like tightening your hands around, something soft. You're just squeezing it. And look at France, whereas before they were spread out, they had control over the chokes. They're in this tight little restricted corner, and it's the map control is all in the hands of Russia. Oh, back out.
Neo and a soldier are just in on mid. That was Opti as well. One's gonna go down. Neo will manage to get out, but trades with Turk. So yeah, it looks like again, whenever France sees a lot of Russian presence in Big Door, they just walk through choke, and it works more often than not.
You know that like Breaking Bad meme where it's like you can't keep getting away with it. Like,
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. Like Russia are like that.
If France had capped mid there, that would be exactly it. Like you can't do that 3 times. Granted, France get to win a round.
They are actually going to capture mid here. Russia losing too many players.
Yeah,
So
that's
now-
just the ebb and flow.
Maybe going to be easier though for France to actually look on Opti already positioning, positing to try and get himself in through choke and go for a bomb.
Turk is in a rat spot in Big Door, but it doesn't look like it's gonna really matter too much. Oh my god, these bumps from France. Slash and Sano going down, but both the soldiers as well. They did not manage to find Mad Knackle. They did drop to 30 HP. Not popping, what a madman. And, but yeah, in the exchange, DKZ, the only one going to go down will be Russia just backing out for now.
That was really well played, actually. I mean, the soldiers for France just getting so much damage down. Mad Mac milking for as long as possible. Got that Uber, and then in return, Patchouli milking for as long as possible. Waited until Demon was actually quite low there, used the Uber. They don't manage to chase as well as they might have hoped, but they've managed to, you know, get the second point. Still in an equal Uber situation, and I think they're happier just to wait for that. And you see Opti already going in for a bomb, getting an idea of what's going on the last, and, you know, Slash has got a sentry, and I think Russia want to push out.
Maybe. They do have a very slight Uber ad. I remember on Snakewater they had a... Or actually no, it was on... This map on Choke, they had like a 4% ad Uber check on France. Let's see, but yeah, losing Utka and Lavi, that's gonna be like hard, pump the brakes, get out of there. And yeah. Still just resuming even Ubers. One player down. We'll have to see if France maybe want to send a sack of some kind. Utka has almost spawned.
Opti's in
Is there
river.
a direct hit? Is that a direct hit, I hear? It is a direct
it is.
hit.
Opti.
In river. Actually, that makes a lot of sense. Because you can do it, oh, it's a direct hit buff banner as well. So you can actually use the direct hit just in general, I think, to spam the sentry.
We saw it in DreamHack the other day.
Yeah.
Navi using the direct hit against the American side, but France...
Oh,
France
okay.
just get absolutely mulched by Utka. He just goes in and kills everyone, and he kills Patchouli.
Yeah, that'll do it there. Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, I heard a cap thing and I thought it was a back cap. But yeah, there's... Oh my god, Opti just blasting fools up in river with that TH. Goddamn.
Demon was just launching in. He's like, alright, oh, he hits the pipes. He manages to get Mad Mac. Opti's still doing it.
Opti's so good. He's playing a point-and-click adventure here. He's got his buff banner. Gonna pop it on his team into last year while holding on to it for now. But, yeah, okay. So what was a disaster situation for France is just saved by Opti clicking on people. Turk gonna go down as well right before France want to posture to potentially push this. It looks like they're just gonna wait for their Uber out.
What are you thinking if you're Utka right now? You're like, guys, I just went in, killed half the team, dropped the medic, and you died to a direct hit. Yeah.
That's just Opti diff, and they actually could be up on sniper now. So 2 snipers on the field for France, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering why, because they have a pretty meaty Uber advantage here.
Okay, look at Utka is chasing that sniper all the way on to second right now. A little bloodthirsty, you could even say. But while that's been happening, this buff banner direct hit finally gonna come to fruition. It did find Turek, but only 1 kill, unfortunately, as France almost wiped.
Can Demon win this by himself? No.
Can he? I think... Where is he even?
He was underneath the point, and there was 3 Russians just waiting for him to, like, you know, it's like whack-a-mole. Waiting for the head to pop up, and then he just slammed it down. Mad Mac has 100% Uber. I didn't realize didn't use the Uber on last there.
I don't think he had Uber.
Oh, so yeah, I mean, this is looking good for Russia. They have QB on Sniper, but Demon only just on the respawn. Opting not for the direct hit this time.
Anyway, we're gonna ignore that ever happened.
I just want to point out, we've got... Oh, actually, never mind. There is an Uber coming in, and
Oh my
Demon
god,
and Patchouli
amazing.
have been murked.
Amazing upper direct from TQZ just to slam that Memo Man down.
Russia are pretty much on last. This could be over in the matter of seconds.
Could be just getting annihilated by those stickies. It's just a soldier trying to stop the point. The first hard-fought round going to Russia. This has been such a back and forth.
Just a casual 20-minute round. It's not. You see all these all the time. I was gonna say, like, less than 10 minutes to go. The team that wins this round, which, like you said, has been coast to coast, they're gonna be kind of sitting pretty and knowing that the other team's under a lot of pressure.
France is going to know that they need to push that gas pedal, and they're definitely capable of doing that. Let's have to see what they do on this bid. DQZ opting for the submarine play, while as Turek opts to die.
Oh, go back!
Oh my god, Korvac just slams into Madnak, their high-impact mid, as Slash DQZ also going down. This is, well, it's definitely what France needed.
Definitely. Demo trying to 1v1 Udka there, and Demo versus Scout is not something you really want to be in a position of. If I'm Mad Mac, I'm fuming right now. Like, you have 4 players around you, and Callback just jumps in and hits 2 rockets. Like,
yeah.
Part of it's like, guys, can you help me? But then the other part's he's like, well, it's Callback. He's not gonna miss, kind of thing, you know?
Like, that's just what's gonna happen when you're fighting Korvac and Opti. We saw it again in the grand finals where Opti was just absolutely destroying everything in his path.
Just a week of destruction happening in Russia. They have a pirate, they have an NG, and they Uber from France,
and they
from Maine.
Lost Kubi instantly in that. And Neo as well, so while that level 1 sentry has gone down, at what cost? Demoul as well. This is just nothing from France.
How?
How? I don't know, they just lost players. It's like, every time outside of the Uber, one of those players was just dying.
Yeah, just Russia happily just say, okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Full Uber ad for us now, 3 seconds, and France, I don't know, they've not got, I would have expected Kubi or Neo to respawn on the sniper there, but it looks like they're just going to opt to just back out, and they trade Slash
and Korvac. Yeah, Turek as well. This could be a signal for France to actually stay in this. Oh, the back cap. France just abusing this flank so hard. Well, they will lose Opti and Kubi for it. They get the force out of Madnak, and really in the end, that's what they mostly care about.
Yeah, I mean, it's a...
Oh my god, that pipe from Demoul across mid gonna smack Utka. And now as Patchouli comes up on their Uber, they're running straight through Choke, rushes all the way out to second already. These pipes from Demoul, man, god damn.
He is not missing, just jumps up to Rua and he's like, I don't care that your entire team's there, I'm just going to casually pipe a couple of you. And they've got 2 picks now, huge.
Yeah, Korvac got Turek as well, trying to leave.
This must be more successful now. Neo getting the meat of that Uber, going towards the point now.
Yeah, Center's gonna go down. Aerial combat not working out for DQC. There's so much cap time down, but both these Russian scouts are on it. Oh my god, the soldiers landed on the Demoman's head, so it didn't stop the cap.
Yeah, I mean, Timur was on the point, and he was like, if I pipe this guy, then the cap finishes, because nobody else was blocking it. And they landed on the head 1-1. And after a 20-minute round, like a 2-3-minute round, who knows what's going to happen next.
That feels like what's always happens, you know, when the 20-minute round is won, the seal is broken, and oh wow, there were already French soldiers at Choke.
Yeah, Sano just couldn't even get in there. He backed off and was like, alright, wait for the heals and try again.
I don't blame him.
And now he's already all across the point. He just
oh my god.
No fear.
Yeah, definitely no fear from them, but these French soldiers are zooming, and oh, DQZ in elbow could be so big, but it's Turek getting Demoul in the end, losing both soldiers for it. Them and Opti going down, and it will be, looks to be a mid-victory for Russia, but not an entirely convincing one, both medics living. And actually it looked like France wanted to try and get back in through Choke there, but you know, Russia, Johnny on the spot, gonna deny them.
Yeah, they actually had about a 10% ad, and Russia were close. If that was known, you know, then France could have just gone in and cleaned house, but the Solemn Vow can't see through walls, so even if medics were using that, wouldn't make much of a difference. But yeah, Russia spawning with Turek on the sniper. Maybe going to try and do the same thing they did before, you know, get some space into big door, pin France down into a corner.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they opt to do. Turek is on that sniper, and yeah, he's going to start wandering on towards big door. Again, only the flank really being over there, and they are just taking a very passive peek. So, you know, well aware of the threat that is Turk. Actually gonna go even deeper this time. But not punished or getting anything for it, so yeah, that's just how it is.
You don't get the frag clips by doing things by halves, okay? You gotta go in deep, and you gotta go for that hero shot.
You know what? You might feed 5 times, but when you get it that one time, that's all the people see.
Yeah, exactly. There's oh, and he's gonna get Demo.
There's the Mool. That's actually a very big pick as well. He had to peek big door, and actually Fred's just gonna have to take this Uber in. And it's a little bit... It should actually be better for France, even though they did pop first, because Russia did have to flash quite a few times. But look at this positioning! Pachuli's so caught! And so is Kubi. It's an absolute mulching happening. And yeah, Korpak Neo going down. They need to get on second here and start putting pressure on last.
I guess you can forgive the French players for thinking, you know, they're just even in big door, they're not going to be on last already. But Russia they just went with it. The respawns are in for France. Yeah. They have full complement players on last. Turret's still on sniper because he didn't die, so maybe going to weaken their push, but they do have full ad here.
Yeah, again, it's full ad. There's only so much that really can be weakened. But Sano goes down in river. It's just Russia being super passive, actually. Yeah. And France is going to be able to cap it up. They're going to take this Uber in through choke. Not even going to try and take it without popping. And yeah, this Uber just kind of got nothing but space for Russia. And yeah, here's the follow-up now from France. These soldiers getting so much space. Pachuli's flying through the sky too, but that wasn't his rocket. And I don't know, this has just turned into absolute chaos somehow so fast. Turek, the nest casualty. But it's all coming up France as they are 3 down.
That is so well played by France. Yeah. They know they're facing like a 75% disad, and they push out on the basis that there's a sniper and Sano, the demo, is down. And then the Uber fails from Russia and they just push again. You know, France now just saying, we're not showing fear, we want to get the win in regulation time. They have an Uber ad, but they need to be moving very soon. It's like, it's ebbing away here.
Yeah, I mean, 90% at this point, you know, unless Mandak decides to just play, you know, a bit of an AFK simulator in spawn, he will get the Uber. And you'll have to see what they want to do with this. It is 1-1. Russia may be content just to play the golden cap. 2 minutes left. France are definitely going to try and push this. But look at that, Sano Turk going down, only Neo trading. And a flurry of frags comes out. But it's Neo down there as well. And we'll have to see what France wants to do here. The Uber comes out from Manak, and they're just going to use it to try and chase into lobby. Oh no, Pachuli got a little greedy there. Just going to drop Opti and pop Uber out in the lobby. That's so good from Utka.
Yeah, that could have been totally different. You can see in Pachuli's head, he's saying, do I pop on Opti here, or do I just wait and hope I don't have to use it all?
Pachuli trusts in his player, but also is just going for a bit of the greed. And yeah, I mean, that's just kind of how it is. 1 minute left. It's basically an option of if France wins this last push, or we go to golden cap. Let's see what they want to do with this. They can get Uber. Yeah, they don't have to rush this necessarily.
Yeah, still a minute to go. They have to get a good
kill. Goes so low. He will actually go down. So will Korpak as well. So that is kind of putting a stop to things from France. As we saw, you know, Uka trying to get into lobby and be a little gremlin, but not going to work out.
Yeah, France actually have this ad here. It's like 20%, 40 seconds to go.
Yeah, because when the mole died, Pachuli wasn't healing anyone.
Yeah. They get Sano though?
Oh, they got Sano, yeah. I would not want to be forward here. You have 1 minute. You can't push out here. And losing your demo man, it's just so much unnecessary risk. 30 seconds, France can make this work. Let's see what they want to do. They both have Ubers. And yeah, Yacht Slash on the point there, gonna kill out Opti. Korpak goes down. This Uber is coming out, but yeah, for Russia, they're just gonna pop the Uber on point. They do not care about these players, really. They just don't want to lose. And yeah, it's gonna be a strategy that works. We're going to golden cap, boys.
Golden cap, I mean, I think it's deserved based on everything we've seen on this map so far. Like, definitely, I want to see more Gullywash between these two. I'll have to see what the, you know, golden caps is always like a tentative situation. You know, do you go super aggressive and, you know, hope you catch people off their toes, or do you just play it safe and wait for the enemy to make mistakes? And France just, for a while there, didn't really have a response to it. And it wasn't until they were like, okay, screw this. Let's play our game. Let's start taking them head on, taking these fights. That toward the end, I feel like if that game went on for another 5 minutes, France would have won.
Yeah, and I mean, you also gotta point out, like, how many times France managed to, like, wrap Russia and choke and get 2 points off of that. Like, it's insane they never capped last. But either way, we're gonna be heading into this first and last mid of Gullywash, as we're gonna see not anything super crazy happening. DQZ putting some submarine gameplay down there, but it's gonna be Turk and Opti trading instantly as the first frags, and Russia kind of pushing a little more aggressively. Never mind, France gonna take back that space as DQZ goes down, but so does Neo and Korvac. It's the first real advantage going in the hands of Russia. As will be French just backing out.
On the chase. There is Sano.
That is fearsome indeed, as we've seen what Utka has been doing here. Just the human meat grinder. But it will be just second being capped up by Russia, putting all that pressure on the combo. And I mean, yeah, that's a good way to start out your golden cap, but being pushed back to last has been far from a death sentence by any means in this game.
I mean, we've seen so much of last, but both last, and it's just been like, you know what? You could just go from one last to the other within the space of 90 seconds. So France won't be too worried. They've got a sentry up, they've got a pyro up, so they've got their regular hold here. Does look like DQZ jumping into water though. I'm not sure if he was spotted. Opti's in position to deny that, so they're probably aware. Yeah,
I mean, they should generally be aware, like this is not the level of team that should be working against, but you never know. And yeah, I mean, this is just a bit of a stalemate. We'll see who wants to take some initiative here. France actually, interestingly, setting up a lot more aggressively than they were before. On the last build we saw before, they had the sentry by left spawn, and the pyro right next to it. Now it's more forward by door. And yeah, there's DQZ. Gonna go down. Actually, Turk might go down as well. Yeah, Korvac managing to push into lobby. That's a lot of space for France.
I love the pressure there from Neo on the pyro. They get the drop onto Patchouli.
Oh no, not again.
Oh no, holding last is a little bit worrisome when you have 100% disad. And Russia now have...
I mean, Russia has all their players as well. They could push off the... well, no, Patchouli's gonna spawn right now. I was gonna say they could push with Hewlett as well, but... not gonna happen. They actually took down the sentry. They were so confident in their push out, and maybe a mistake. But it is level 2, so that's still quite good. Yeah, this soldier goes down. That's Opti in water, who's the main one denying all that cap pressure. So much cap time from Russia. If they could just bounce people off it, and they will. Gullywash goes to Russia. We're headed to a third map just like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
France is gonna be rocking after that.
Yeah, especially because that's just such a frustrating way to lose a round. Like, obviously, these guys are all experienced. They've, lost the map before. I wouldn't expect it to put them out of it. But, like, when you lose a golden cap like that, it's never great. But they're heading on to Granary. This is the third map between France and Russia. It is Granary. And we just came off of a golden cap victory for Russia on Gullywash. So you're up to speed now. That's what's happening here.
Looking at the lineups we have, Aya, I want a little bit of commitment from you, okay? I want a little bit of I need you to sort of settle down and give me a decision on who's going to win this third map.
That is a call and a half to make at this point. Okay, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna say France, just because I feel like it's one of those things where okay, where the going gets tough, I trust this French lineup. Well, saying anything about the pace.
3-2. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a 3-2.
You say 3-2 to who?
To
who, CeeJaey?
I'm gonna say France.
France. All right. I'll say 4-2 France.
4-2
Actually,
France.
that might be a little too many rounds for Granary, but we'll have to see.
We are live now as the demos make their way to mid. Just so Aya is on the same page as everyone else, it is Russia in the blue still, and France in the red, and the blue soldier turret is flying through the sky. And not getting any value out of that bomb.
Well, also didn't land on the bridge where he wanted to. But yeah, that's just French players killing Russian players. It is what it is, and that is the first mid victory down. Already having some players advancing onto second. That is Demoul, and yeah, We'll have to see if they can keep up this pace at all. Looks like Russia does actually want to contest second a little bit, but they're just a little too late.
They have had. Udka's been building. They want to go in here. Like, I feel like they just want to take a trade, but
yeah.
France backing off.
France is too passive. If they had been aggressive there, I definitely think Russia would have tried to just, see what was up.
Yeah.
But
I mean, this is what Russia like to do. Just take the kind of these solo scout Ubers in on Udka, get like the flashes and everything like that. And Patchouli was about 20% behind there. But you know what? I have to say, credit. Mad Mac not dying this mid. Russia realizing when things were going bad and actually getting their medic out this time around.
But losing Turek and TKC going quite low as well does not help when you're trying to hold off this lunchbox aggression. But the pump straight through the tiny doorway, as is the theme on this map.
Obviously just absolutely denied there. Like DQZ just hitting a rocket and just not allowing Opti to get in any pressure onto Mad Mac. And I feel like Russia are going to get a little bit kind of, not hasty, but they're going to want to push out at some point. And as soon as the next bombs come in from France, which is inevitable, they're going to try and want to push out and take a trade and at least retake yard out of this. But France looking like they want to pressure Lunchbox a little bit more.
Yeah, they have been liking that, as Russia's done a very good job shutting them out in, Shatter. And, well, yeah, actually, this Lunchbox aggression pushes them through, and then you can see Demul trying to get the spam onto them through Shutter as well, so I mean, it's something, but again, this is just a bit of a stalemate and a classic one at that, the yard to second. No one's going anywhere. It's see a bit of a soldier skirmish again by the door on Catwalk. But it's actually coming up all in favor of Russia. Neo, Opti, and Korbeck going down. They just got kind of tired of sitting around, I guess.
Oh no.
Oh,
and he's running out. Drop down, he's gonna get caught. He's dancing.
Is he? Oh. I mean, I respect the effort. I respect it a lot, but it's gonna be such a late spawn. Yeah, it's just gonna kill Bind.
The control point is being
If he hadn't kill Bind, I would have wanted to see Russia keep him as a pet.
That was heartbreaking to watch. You just see like the juggling happening, the blocking happening. Everyone just what do you do? And he's not.
Yeah.
He's not going to get forward spawn. There's a sentry. Kiwi's got a sentry in front of the forward spawn.
Okay, who originally did that? I remember it happening.
Oh, I'm thinking that's who. Because
I'm thinking of whoever ran heavy in forward spawn.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm trying to think. I know you're talking about.
Put you on the spot.
There's a heavy on last.
Yeah, there's a heavy on last. And this Uber's just gonna come straight in across pipe, but truly only on that 40%. Sentry goes down heavy, going quite low, but not dying quite yet. This focus fire a little lacking from Russia, as they're just gonna drop 3 there. And it's now France's turn to push out of last.
It's kind of surprising. Russia's focus fire has been pretty good. It's one of their strengths, getting that damage out and making sure their players clean up, but didn't really happen on last. And if you're going to use your Uber to focus the heavy on the high ground, you need to kill the heavy on the high ground. And yeah, Patchouli 90% now. Got a bit of an ad. France already out into yard and already pressuring. Slash only just getting that intel, and France probably going to be making their way onto the high ground, onto mid, and just pushing out here. Russia have to make a decision. Are they in or are they out? And they're deciding they are out.
Yeah, and Walter, it's going to solidify that as the Stickies do find Turek on the sniper. Madnak is coming up on their Uber right about now, and they're going to pop instantly here as it's a yard exchange. And we'll have to see who actually goes on this. Opti, the first casualty, as France is actually just going to back out to mid, not feeling comfortable with the positioning of Russia there. And yeah, we'll have to see what they want to actually roll with off of this. Looks like a lot of pressure here from Russia, but they haven't managed to actually make their way through any doors. Such is Granary. I was going to Gullywash, don't worry about it.
I was going to say, if this was any other map, Russia would have been in on mid already. Like, they'd be pushing onto last right now. But
they knew if they walk through that door, they're going to get nuked.
Yeah, they're just going to have artillery all over their faces. And that's the thing with this map. It's not allowing these transition plays that Russia really, really like. And I think that's playing into France's hands. They can just chill on the high ground and just be like, okay, if you're going to do your thing, we're going to totally deny it. But there were some really good flashes there from Patchouli onto second. The problem was so much damage was done to the French players, they weren't able to really do anything after the Ubers were exchanged. But now it looks like they want to try and get them choke here, maybe get call back in for a bomb. It's not going to work. He's going to crater. I think Opti isn't going to get anything either.
Headshot rocket there from onto that soldier there, but not going to get the kill credit, unfortunate. And yeah, with those 2 picks, at both the soldiers down as well, that means that France really does not have the same muscle to deny these doorways as they did before. And we're going to see Russia try and capitalize off of that, but losing DQZ... Oh, and now they're going so low. Yeah, they can't do anything here.
That's all Demol. Like, he just, no soldiers, you need somebody to deny, and he was just rotating. Wherever the damage was needed, he went in and got it done. Korvac dying again, obviously trying to get a bit more space, go for a sack, but Madmac just really far back. Russia happy to sit here and wait for France to throw their soldiers in over and over again, and you know, as soon as they get a couple of picks, just like they just did, then they're going to try and pressure mid again as a team, and it puts a lot of pressure on Demol. He has to make sure that those chokes are locked down, otherwise, you know, the scouts aren't going to be able to deny those beefy players walking in with all those heals.
Yeah, they won't. People have to see what's going to happen. Kubi, this time France taking the initiative with the sniper. Have to see how they want to play that. This is not a map that I associate a ton with sniper, especially like this mid to yard. Like there's just not a lot of great areas to push.
Sniper can work. I mean, Madmac is playing in a position where he could get his head blown off through this window if he is not too careful. But yeah, France, again, they're just happy to... And they got to pick onto DQZ here, so a soldier down, that's going to mean less spam, more space, and I think they're giving up yard already.
Yeah, looks like it. Maybe just the positioning from Russia, they're not comfortable holding it without both of their soldiers, which, fair enough. We see what Turk maybe wants to do here. I thought he might have gone for a quick little rat play and drop down, but no, none of that happened here.
See, this just comes back again to you saying the team that's like playing the way that they want to play, and this feels like a lot more like Snakewater. Just France slowly, methodically doing what they want. I feel like if this was Gullywash right there, like in the Gullywash mentality, then Russia would have not cared that they were aware of player down. They would have gone in for the trade, something like that. QB in lunchbox gets slash.
Yeah, and it felt like a little bit of lacking communication there on Russia. They should have been very aware of the sniper's position because they were SMGing down some stickies. But they lose Demul because of that, and Opti now. So Utka just kind of, you know, saying anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah, he's just yelling for medic now. He wants to go in through this trick. He sees QB. He smells blood in the water.
He's still in the water, but he's getting 0 beam.
Yeah, QB lives though. QB could have died there, but he lives, and that's a big deal.
Yeah. Well, I think Badnak just had to kind of put him on a leash there, like, alright, but you're not doing that.
Yeah, it's not going to happen in France. I mean, France haven't actually lost anything other than space. You know, they don't lose a point out of that. They just lose yard, which is like 2.5. Yeah,
it's the classic, you know, half a point, basically. That is the crux of this map.
Yeah, that is Granary and
and Kubi's just gonna get stickies placed on his head.
Pachuli went down quite low there, actually. It was like 60 odd HP. If Russia had been a little bit faster, they could maybe send a soldier nice and fast and maybe got the force. But I want to see what QB spawns on. He's gonna spawn on the scout, and all dying to turret. That's Russia. Russia go in on this. They go in on this. 100%.
They surely. Yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah, looks like they're gonna try to start peeking now, but it's just a question of if these French soldiers are able to stuff it for long enough, and like they only really have like a couple more seconds to make this work. And there's Utka going down. Cancel. Get out. Madnek is. No, the rocket threaded the needle. Madnek went so low, but he was confident, and then he died to a spam rocket. Oh, Opti.
Good, just the counter bomb came in from DQZ to try and get something, and Opti just pings him out of the air. It was so crisp, and France just turning it on when they need to there.
Yeah, that's very, very unfortunate, but also very well earned by France. And that's gonna be the way you get the first round. It was an 18-minute round, so not quite as long as our first on Gully. But quite close.
It's definitely been slower paced than Snake, but not as slow paced as Gully, which isn't a bad thing. It's, now a round on the board is maybe gonna ignite Russia to be a bit more aggressive. Like, they were just caught in no man's land there. Should we go in? Should we not? If they'd committed and dropped, that's one thing. But, you know, half committing and then losing all your players, not good. And this new mid-fight, no super high bombs yet. Callback, so much damage.
Well, Kubi is also just out here ruling the high ground on these crates, and that's going to limit Russia's options a lot. And, yeah, we just see all of these players. It is a madhouse. Patchouli goes down, but it is France capping the mid. So, you know, it's a hollow victory for them, if anything, but it is one nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, that was, it looked like Russia just had no right to stay in on mid there, but in the end it was, you know, Turek getting the bomb, getting onto Patchouli and getting the med pick, which is huge because now Russia, they're already streamlining all the way to mid. Should be able to take this. Callback is hiding. Oh, he gets found by Uka.
Yeah, no. Come on. Yeah, we're looking around corners here. You know how it is.
He looked right, and then it took him a while. You know, there was a trigger discipline there from Callback, but didn't manage to get anything of value. But Patchouli already at 70%. Russia will use the Uber. And they dropped Sano.
I think they thought that France was going to try and hold yard more there. But yeah, France was all the way out to second, so the Uber just kind of gets nothing. And yeah, now the repush here from France into yard. Turret goes down, so does Slash. And yeah, with Patchouli coming up on that Uber, there should be mid their way as well. Just a question if Russia can get any kind of a force off, and they're not even really in position to do that. This is just a roll forward from France until someone can put a stop to it.
I was going to say they get a couple of forward spawners, but Demol's already there with the stickies on the spawn door, not allowing anyone to do any kind of a sniper in forward shenanigans. They still have this Uber advantage. They use it. Patchouli gets forced, but Madmac doesn't have it. They're going to launch their players in. Demol's on the spawn.
Oh, yeah, you saw those stickies from Demol. He had the right idea, but it was a little too slow on the uptake. And that will be Madmac now holding last with this full Uber ad. But with how much space France got off that one advantage, that's entirely worth it.
Oh yeah, like pushing back from second onto the enemy second, nearly onto last. That is huge. They've only lost Callback basically for that, but Utka now with the Uber straight onto Bull, takes him down with 2 shots. Salo is going to be joining in, and Patchouli just eliminated there. Just absolutely cleaned off the server.
Oh no, but there's a cap going on as well. The pain train, you love to see it. And Opti is going to go down there, but it did slow the roll from Russia. Oh, I did not hit the air shot. Madmac going down to 30 HP.
Kubi's hiding. He's on second.
Oh, Kubi.
Oh,
have to see if they can do anything with the no, they were very aware. After the soldier got in, just gonna get bombed. But all those like little gremlins behind has slowed the roll from Russia. They will still get mid, but they probably could have rolled a little more considering they picked Patchouli.
Yeah, you would have thought this would have been a much better situation for them, but when you look at it right now, it's basically, you know, 30% their side. France will build hard on last. QB on the respawn on engineer already. They're getting ready to hold last. By the time Russia are ready to push last, they will be happily set up, probably with an Uber. And yeah, it just shows that you don't actually have to get much done when you're behind. Just the distraction. Oh, actually, Russia straight in. Patchouli doesn't have it. 99.
Again, we've seen Russia loves pushing these little like, oh, we think we have like a 10% ad here. We're just gonna vibe check you. And it works out for them in this case that Sentry's gonna go down and it's just gonna be securing the cap now. 1-2-1 for Russia. Again, they just... That is Russia playing their game.
Is Russia playing their game? I underestimated how far they would be in there, and I think France did as well because they lost them all straight away, and Patchouli on the 99%. I mean, you think, you know, a few seconds longer, 2 seconds, anything like that, they would have been able to use the Uber there and at least stabilize things. But Russia feeling a lot more comfortable with that style of play. Half of the map to go. We're stuck at 1-1.
Yeah, will be, but hey, 12 minutes on the clock, anything could happen, so, oh, my head's broken, never mind.
Well, hopefully you can see the scoreboard, because everyone on Russia is dead other than Madmac, and he's desperately trying to run away.
Yeah, that's kind of how that works, yeah. And that will be the French mid as they roll onto second as well. Madmac did live, though, so that is something. And, well, actually still a slight disadvantage just because, you know, they weren't
France
healing
might
for a
go in
while.
here. France might do what Russia
Yeah,
just did.
I think France are aware. Well, even then, they would just want to get the space before their Uber. And, yeah, look at this. Look how much space Demul just nets them there with before the Uber even comes out. But in exchanges right now, it's, I think, slightly better for France. But, oh, truly there, right at the end, DKZ lands on his noggin. And, yeah, that's just a failed last push for France. It's a good idea, but it didn't quite work out. Opti tried to go for something, didn't get it.
You talk about how like games can be won with like an individual play or just like, you know, the slightest millimeter of something happening. Sano was 3 HP when he got into spawn and the door closed. If France had managed to kill him, 3 more damage, no demo for that last fight with no Uber, I feel like France would have won that. But Sano living and being able to spam around and get a lot of damage down really helped them in that fight. And now Russia find themselves capturing mid with a 30% advantage. And France kind of thinking, hang on a minute, weren't we in this situation a couple of minutes ago and it didn't end too well for us? Maybe do things a little bit different?
Maybe, but yeah, this is again Uber ad for Madnak. We'll have to see what they actually want to do with it. Looks like Lunchbox is going to be the answer. They're getting delayed a little bit by Opti there, and it's about enough time. Chuli's at 95%, but it's not quite long enough for them to actually delay. And oh, look at it again, small ad push, but this time France have gotten it. Korvac has gone down, but this is not great positioning for Russia at the end of this Uber. Madnak is going to be caught, but the cap is so much time, but they can't get on it.
No.
Oh no,
no.
2-1.
I don't want to talk about what I just saw. It feels... So Neo takes the majority of the French Uber and he body blocks Madmac, right? And Madmac can't get out. And you think that's a grand job. It's a grand job. But then he whiffs like 4 out of the 6 shots he takes, eventually dies, and then Russia just like, well, we're just gonna leave our medic to die and capture last.
Yeah.
You hate to see it.
Yeah, you do hate to see it, but you know what? Still 12 minutes left, anything can happen, and Madnak is just getting absolutely annihilated at the start of this mid, as is most of Russia, but I mean, okay, France is actually bleeding a little more than they probably wanted to for it. And in that flurry of frags, it's a wipe for Russia, and Pachuli, he's still standing.
He had to get an arrow kill to keep himself standing. Taking a 1v1 there with Utka, yeah.
Yeah, Utka is this shark that smelled, you know, blood in the water and then just ran at him.
Yeah, but then the fisherman bulks him on the nose or something, you know, it just was enough to keep him at bay. Huge Uber advantage for France now. They find themselves 1 round down after being 1 map up and winning Gully, you know. Now they find themselves on the receiving end of, you know, realizing that they're on the cusp of a loss here. Madmac nowhere near Uber, 50%. It's going to be a while before he gets anything. They have an engineer. They're set up for last, but France need to start making a move.
Yeah, have to see exactly what they want to do here, and it's just going to be an Uber in. The sentry gun gets tanked for most of it, and you see Madnak is over here, 85%. This is on a timer for France. They did manage to get Slash, and Turk is still down. DKZ very, very low, cannot really contest. But yeah, there's the Uber coming out as soon as Madnak gets... I don't know if it's like had to pop there, but it's the safe play. And ultimately... Oh, Demul is still in. That's a thing.
Yeah,
finally goes down.
Either I didn't notice him or he just re-entered the fight. I would have popped there as well. I think, you know, Callback was right on top, fully loaded with rockets. And it was the safer play to keep your players alive there from Madmac. They're now trying to block second here, but they don't have Demul, and that would have been helpful to have a Demo Man at hand. They do have an Uber advantage though. This is, you know, like 30-40%. They're gonna hope that Russia play it, you know,
I mean,
risky.
Given the number of like small ad pushes that Russia have done, I think they're aware.
Yeah, they're in tune. Oh, Demul's in deep. Is he gonna get the flash?
Yeah. He will. Yeah. Okay, that is a ballsy play from Demul. Sentry goes down, so does Turk. They lose Opti for it as well. Madnak has a 99%. Okay, did manage to link up with a player. And yeah, again, this is just... France has an Uber ad, they push in, Madnak manages to get their Uber. It's really just the same thing, again.
Yeah. I mean, this is second or third failed last push we've seen on a full Uber ad coming out of France, and... You know, they've had 1 success and a number of failures. This is when it starts to play on your mind that, you know, you are losing this map There's less than 10 minutes to go, and these failures cannot kind of keep happening. This Uber advantage is negligible right now. It's 10%. It's kind of, they've gone from full Uber ad into last onto losing mid into equal Ubers, and Russia are just going to be feeling happier and happier as the time ticks away.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, this is Granary. 9 minutes is not as long as you might think.
Yeah, it's just, it takes you at least 7.5 to get from point 2.5 to point 2.
Yeah.
But it does look like France, they're wanting to push, they want to fight this on mid. They want to take this these crates and maybe get a sack in. Look at Demul, he's so far forward. He's getting so much damage down. And two players from Russia, they've dropped both of their scouts. Now back, it's going to drop to 9 HP and he didn't pop.
Oh man, I don't know if that's a lack of respect or just willful ignorance. Either way, full ad for Patchouli on this mid, and it's another wipe from Russia. They're just gonna start flooding into second.
Do you think he saw Utka die and he was like, I'm not using Uber then? No. Either I wait for Utka to respawn or I die. Yeah, the Uber into last. Can France get this one successfully this time? They've got one pick, but that's from ages ago. They've already dropped Neo.
Yeah. Well, Turek has just launched himself onto the point. Neo was the one trying to cap. Patchouli another arrow frag onto Turek there, but again, it's just France not able to execute on these last pushes, despite Korvac getting a nice 2 kills at the end.
These French soldiers are like a menace. They're getting so much work done, but for some reason, France can just not cap this last point. I mean, they get a decent amount of cap time, they get some kills, but the kills that they got were, like you said, Callback getting a couple of kills right at the end when they've already lost 3-4 of their own players. So something's not going quite right here. Maybe they need to switch it up, maybe go for a top push or something like that. But Mad Mac finding himself with a 30% ad yet again. And France just kind of sticking with cookie cutter. They're not getting a sniper up like they were before. They're maybe going to try and fight this.
Yeah, they could try and fight it. Like, it's only about 80% this ad for Patchouli. That's very kiteable. Yeah, they'll have to see. But yeah, Kubi goes down. Is the first kill that's not boding too well for France. Oh, Demul's super low as well. Yeah, Korvac and him go down. That's just oh, and where's the exchange happening? Oh, there's just them pressing with the Uber. Okay, yeah. I was really confused. I was watching the other side of mid when that happened. Anyway. Yeah, that's just going to be now a question for Russia if they can actually manage to get Yard, and it looks like they will.
Yeah, I'm not sure what France's thought process was there. If they traded those 3 players and got the force and got Patchouli out to second and then they could have re-pushed with an ad, that would have been absolutely fine. But they lose 3 players and they have a trade, and Russia's able to just, capitalize and push all the way here. They could have even busted into second if they were feeling like it. But now that they, 6 minutes, 20 seconds to go, they're a round up on Granary. They can just sit here and wait for France to make a mistake. And the pressure is absolutely on France to try and find some space and get something done.
Yeah, I mean, it's not what we hope happens because, no one wants to watch it. But, it is very much realistic chance here with 6 minutes left. There's no round timer that's going to come into play here.
Yeah, and a match as close as this, you want to try and have as many advantages as possible. If Russia were down, I would be 100% certain they would just go in for an exchange at this point. So, are France going to be trying to do the same? Or are they just going to, send someone in to drop
looks
down?
like they're going to take the Uber through Z. The exchange coming in. It's basically, it's the solo from France, but they did have to flash a little bit. So, going to end around at the same time, probably.
Yeah, they dropped them all. They managed to pick up Turk. They picked up
but in the
Sano
post Uber, yeah, the post Uber is where France is winning this now. Russia down 3. They did lose Demul, but that's more than good enough for France.
I feel like losing Demul there was awful, but then somehow they managed to get. Look at this from Opti. He's so far forward.
Yeah.
He gets DQZ and a lot of damage down onto the retreating Russian combo, but that's going to be enough to afford them this midpoint. And now, 5 minutes to go. This is where things start to get a little bit dicey.
A little bit dicey indeed. Just Russia, they need to plan their next moves carefully. They did get forward spawns, so they're all in Yard. And they can mount a defense. It is even Ubers. Opti is on Spy. Is he just checking?
He might be checking to see
Let me find.
If there's...
Oh, he is out. Okay. France is putting everything on their national hero, the Spy.
he just took some spam and died. Oh no.
That's poor showing.
Yeah. That's what we call being simply unlucky there.
Yeah, like that's not even his fault. He just got shot by a rocket.
Yeah. Gonna have to think of something else here, and Opti's on the respawn saying, screw that, I'm not trying to spy anymore, uninstalling the spy config from my computer.
Sideshow is so disappointed. They never expect Side the second time.
Yeah, I mean, you're just gonna keep going spy until it works. That's how it happens.
Exactly.
I love the little demo trading happening here. Just throwing the pipes in. One demo takes a pipe, takes an arrow, reloads. Just waiting. France need to do something, and it's going to be near to maybe
it's
take
3.5 minutes here. Like, Russia is eyeing that timer every single time they're doing anything here. And Turk Quebec trade, but Neil going down as well. Again, it's just France can't do anything off this. They have to wait for their respawn timers. Every single second here for France is painful.
Yeah, Russia actually pushing here. I mean, no, they're deciding against it. Perhaps the smart choice, seeing a soldier on the high ground, just Opti just being like, okay, you want to push into me, all right. But Russia's saying, you know what? No, we don't need more rounds. We just need to hold the rounds we've got. But again, one mistake here could be costly for. Oh, Sally's so weak.
Oh,
and he does die.
Yeah, but at what cost? France has dropped 3 for it, including both their soldiers. Like that, you can't really do much with that.
This is all a big plan to bait Russia in and win the refight. They've already got Uka down.
Apparently.
They've already got DQZ down.
all the spawners from France are now arriving. So
it's just a 5-hit play. We can't.
It is. Yeah. Feeding 3 is the best play. Why doesn't it work for my team?
Russia falls back onto last now. They've got Sano back up. Turek actually dying there. Sano is only 84 HP. He's kind of not really ready to commit, and France could just maybe go in and take a trade here.
Yeah, 2 minutes and France are pushing last now. Have to see what's gonna happen. Badak is gonna pop out this Uber into France aggressively. It's a definitely better Uber from France. But let's see, they have to focus on this heavy first. That's Slash getting Neo on the high ground. And it's, again, these last pushes not working out so well for France quite yet. They're losing players. And it's happened again.
It happened again. They had such a better Uber though, I don't understand. Madmac popped as soon as he saw a French play. He just was like, no, I'm going to do it. And there was a 40% better Uber for Russia, and they just don't clean up.
They had better Uber, they had better health. They had better positioning.
Yeah, again, they just didn't take down the heavy quick enough, and it was a nice arrow from Madmac to keep the heavy alive. France now, a minute 30, they need to fight second, win this fight, and go on to last. They need to do it now.
Yeah, they need to do it now, and again, Russia knows, like, they don't necessarily have to commit to the second hold, they just need to waste time. And it looks like France, their final play, their Hail Mary is going to be lunchbox push. And Turek has spotted it, spammed them out. 1 minute now on the clock. Oh, Turek died. Turek dies? That's potentially something. That's an opening.
Yeah, it's really well played by Callback. He is just totally controlling this upper ground. Even forced DQZ back. And now Opti's going to be the one to try and take some space. He's getting spammed so hard, but he's getting so much damage. Sano, very weak. But it's less than a minute, Aya. They gotta
less
go.
than a minute. Like, again, if you haven't kept second at this point, you have got to be nervous. This is a point where, like, you have to be entering last. And I just don't know.
They need to. The Ubers are still in play.
It is still, but like, again, Russia doesn't really care about this point. They care about the timer. And that's what's exactly happening right now. 25 seconds left. France has still not capped second.
This is doable. DQZ still dead. They just need to get into last now. There's no Ubers in play. There is a heavy on the high ground. Well, not on the high ground, actually. Now...
Oh, yeah, Slash goes down the trade with Kubi. It's all these soldiers. Oh, the turret got 2. That's got the point.
The pub push works?
Pub push? No. Oh, my God. Why?
Hold me, I don't know what's going on anymore. I mean,
oh no, Russia played that so well, and then just to lose it like that.
I don't understand, man. It looked like everything was fine for Russia, and
CeeJaey, you predicted what, a 3-2, right?
Yeah.
Well, Depending on how you count the golden cap.
Second golden cap. This game, I mean, when you look at the score of the first map, we said this at the start, right? 5-2 on Snakewater, that does not tell the whole story. You know,
definitely.
That was so much closer than the scoreline suggests. Gullywash 2-1 was a golden cap. We are now on to the second golden cap of this series. Granary 2-2. The next round will win this tie, and there is a place in the semifinals.
Yeah, well, let's see if it goes in a similar fashion to the last golden cap we saw. We'll just have to wait and see. These demo men both opting for the lower ground rollout, and we'll just have to see what happens. Super. It's like it was gonna be an early bomb from Turek, but he didn't really go that far as it seemed like he wanted to. But Daboul is the first casualty, trades with DQZ, Sano as well, slash Opti. All of these frags going on both sides, but Patchouli is up while Madnak is in a shallow grave right now.
Yeah, and the thing is, Utka and Slash both alive, but not in a position to really chase because they were so weak. If they had just, 30, 40 more HP each, they would definitely chase there. But Kubi on the beam didn't really want to risk it. And the funny thing I like during that mid-fight is that Callback bombs in, gets like a ton of damage onto Sano, and then Sano receives an arrow, and Callback just stands still, just looks at him like, really? You're not dead yet? Like, shoots another rocket and takes him down. But France looking like they want to push into mid now.
Yeah, that's a clip that's going to put in the next banned crossbow thread. But because of it is, this is going to be France, trying to make use of their advantage, just snaking around the crates for now, pretty much avoiding Russia on this mid. But Turek will be the first casualty. And Slash. Oh yeah. Well, this Uber does come out from France though, so that's arguably good for Russia, because they will have an ad now. But they're gonna have to give up, I think, second for it as well.
Oh, I don't know. It's so close, and France aren't sure the percentage of Madmak. He's just about to take over to that 100%. But France were not sure, and the Uber's going to come straight out to Maul, trying to hide around the corner, is going to get found out. Sano with a huge dump will kill himself, but also takes down QB, and Utka surely is going to clean up Patchouli here, and it's 1 up for France.
Yeah,
on the back cap. Now he loses to Turek. It just went wrong. France, is it a respect thing, just not showing respect, holding too far forward, or I don't know.
I don't know, yeah. It definitely felt like they didn't respect the fact that, Russia had full ad on them.
Yeah, you don't really want to be that close. Russia now taking yards, 30% ad. This could easily be a last push.
Yeah, whatever happens, Russia's probably going to get second here. I don't see France contesting that unless they get a miracle pick.
Patchouli's not healing. You think if he's building right now, maybe they can get it like he is now, but that's a 10-15% loss. Russia, they don't hang around when they've got an ad. There is a heavy, there is a sentry. Sano is in on the spawn, launching for it. Sentry does go down. France pushing up on this far side, but the Russians have the high ground.
Yeah, Neo not really getting focused too much on that heavy. It was really only the demo man shooting him. Then, trading with Korvac, it could be something here, but this does not look like a great push here. The health on Russia is so bad right now.
Yeah, they had the positioning, they had the ground, they just didn't have the kills. France played that really well, just playing on the other side of the point, just pushing up, trying to get some kills, and loads of players on Russia were so weak that they just really didn't want to recommit there for another fight. And Patchouli at the 100%, but Madmak just building so well, already at 75, so France have to be aware that if they're going to push mid here, expecting a big Uber advantage, it's pretty much not there.
Yeah, they will do it though. We'll have to see. Oh no, but they're getting so stuffed in this choke. Not even really. Russia's gonna take the initiative there. Just catch out Opti, but will Patchouli actually use Uber? We've seen them drop a player in this scenario before on Gullywash. And oh yeah, Neo tries to get a follow-up, but just gonna get bombed up by Turek. And it's arguably still better for Russia. They managed to get 2 picks and the Uber out, so
2 seconds difference.
At least take yard? Yeah.
2 seconds difference and Neo wins that fight for France. It was just a slight... He was behind, kind of almost hiding, comes in to block Madmak, but he had a shred of Uber left over and he wasn't able to kind of do the sandwich play that he was planning. But Russia here, just kind of... They're in between second and mid. They want to go in, but they also don't. It's getting very, very loose here from France.
Yeah, it really is. They're being pushed to their limit. And, Russia, again, they're playing their game here. They want to push in. And we'll have to just see what they want to do. They haven't been successful just getting stopped at the shutter every time.
Yeah, I mean, Russia, if this was the regular game, you know, maybe they go in for the trade right now and, you know, try and get someone behind. But seeing as this is golden cap, maybe playing a little bit more safe. Turek trying to do some plays in lunchbox, will die.
Yeah. Like, so you see, like, that's basically what is the sack. You're like, oh yeah, you can send a player through lunchbox, see if they get anything. And looks like DKZ and Opti gonna trade on the counter, and this combo is actually just gonna run through Z. Just try and catch out Russia there. So this could be a really awkward exchange by drop down. Again, it's Russia gonna take the initiative here, but this time they're not getting the pressure they need. Patchouli is not using.
No fear from that man. Just did not want to use. Didn't take any damage. Didn't think, oh, I need to use here so we can chase. No, just held onto it.
Yeah.
And that is huge for France. They're going to get mid here basically for free. They got to pick onto Turek already, and they have 100% Uberad. And again, this is theirs to throw away. Like, if they play this sensible and smart, they should at least get second out of it.
Well, I hate to break it to you. France have thrown it away quite a few times this game.
There's been a lot of throwing in this game from both sides, and I feel like you do not want to throw on the golden cap of the final map in a best of 3. I think France, even now, they don't want to push into last. I think they know that
they could have. Yeah, I mean, that was basically just a single soldier ball. I think they thought it was even, but in reality, Mendek had only just gotten Uber. But I mean, that's like a 15% miscount. That's like pretty understandable. Okay, Demo. Yeah, that was just at Shutter. Like, that's interesting.
Yeah, he was just stood there, and Utka just has no fear and just runs forward. You know,
yeah, so that's potentially second seeded to Russia.
It should be. They got the cap time, and France really don't want to commit without their demo. They are going to hold on to Yard, obviously, and Demol with the forward spawn is able to just sticky up that shutter and just chill. But yeah, Utka just, again, never afraid to just run forward and try and just get a kill. Demol maybe just not expecting the aggression coming out of him.
Oh, is that up? Oh, okay, that's the STV live for you?
Yeah, I think I was just watching Demol and he's just doing like
I thought I was going to say, I'm like, please no pause. But yeah, every time France has tried to push this point, they've always gone lunchbox, and we see it again. Opti DQC gonna trade, and I mean, yeah, that's just where we are right now.
Patchouli going though with his team lunchbox. He's got the beam onto Korbak, who is going to go in, gets a decent amount of damage, but it's spread across a bunch of players, and there just really isn't the cleanup there available for anybody else.
Yeah, and I mean, importantly, just Madneck not being really one of those players. It's what you need at that point. And again, it looks like Russia want to just take this through Z and see what they can potentially get. Although they are kind of in an awkward position right now because no one's really pushing, but everyone wants to.
It's you're in no man's land. Sano getting aggressive here.
They're just getting again. Russia taking this exchange. Got a nice pipe onto Patchouli. Had to make him pop out there.
They've dropped Utka. Turek's also gonna die. 17-second respawn on that man. Couple of players are going to be respawning soon for Russia, but France are already in on last. This could be it. Slash
it could be. It could be. They haven't got a ton of point pressure, but yeah, now all these players from Russia have goodbye to feed on it. That is going to be the round, the map, the series to France. What a banger.
That is definitely one of the closest games I've seen for a while. After Snakewater, it felt like France were definitely the one in control, but Russia just bounced back. 2 golden caps, they literally could have gone either way there. Looking at the combined looks from that Granary map, Utka going 34 for 11, just every map just top fragging, getting a ton of damage, doing work, barely dying, just doing a really, really good work for his team.
Yeah, it really is. Like, it's whenever you have 2 golden caps as your last moves, like, it's on a knife's edge. You could have seen anyone win that.
It is France who win it, and they'll be going through to the semi-final. I mean, they'll be hoping they can go all the way. Only 4 teams left in the competition at that point, and you got to fancy your chances, right?
It is on screen. Wiethoofd got us in the end. They will be facing whoever won Poland versus Czechia, which was apparently it is Poland.
That's going to be a good one.
Follow, maybe hit a subscribe. If you're feeling particularly generous and have liked what we're doing out here, it does help support us, especially our lovely producers out here, including Wiethoofd, who has been bringing you all the things you see on your screen. Follow us on Twitter, Critscast, Discord, now newly partnered Discord, I should say. Down there is some quite swagging merch, and the Patreon as well. So yeah, that's going to be it from us. I've been I'm with CeeJaey, Wiethoofd on production. We'll catch you around next time.